everybody, and welcome to the last session of the KUOT Skills Group. My name is Jess, and I'm an occupational therapy student at Kean University. Last week, in the session Circles, we learned about budgeting and ways to save money with Boona.
And keeping track and planning. One ensures that his expenses do not outweigh his income.
This week, in today's session called Yummy, we're going to be focusing on making 3 different microwave meals. They're quick and easy and a great introduction to the life skill of cooking, and I'm really excited to show them to you. We're going to be making 1 breakfast, 1 lunch or dinner, and 1 dessert. We're going to be making French toast for breakfast, pizza for lunch or dinner, and a chocolate cake for dessert. Cooking is an important life skill for maintaining independence and promoting your health. As we've discussed in previous episodes, life skills as a whole are important for maintaining independence and establishing good habits and routines. These recipes all come from a cookbook made by previous Kean OT students, so thank you to them for their creativity. All of these recipes are super easy and don't take a lot of time or equipment, and I'm really excited to show them to you. Before we get started with making our recipes, I just wanted to go over today's expectations and goals for the session. My expectation is that you'll watch the full video and either you'll cook 1 or multiple recipes along with me, or if not, there'll be quiz questions along the way. If you don't plan on cooking with me today, or you're going to sit out 1 or more of the recipes, I'd like for you to grab a pen and paper and follow along with the quiz questions. We'll go over the answers at the end. I'd like for you to save the recipes for later as well, and I'd like you to try to make at least 2 of them. If not today, maybe another day this week. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. Hope you're all doing well today. I sure am hungry for breakfast. Luckily, this breakfast I'm about to show you is really easy to make and doesn't take a lot of time, equipment, or ingredients. It's going to be French toast, but with a twist. It's going to be made in a mug. To make this recipe, you'll need 1/4 cup of milk, 1½ tablespoons of maple syrup, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, although if you're not a fan of cinnamon, you can add a little bit less, 1 large egg, ½ tablespoon of unsalted butter at room temperature, a pinch of salt, and a slice of white bread. I only have wheat bread, so I'll be using that instead. The first step in making this recipe is to whisk together your milk, so we'll add that into our mug, your 1½ tablespoons of maple syrup, if you don't have a ½ tablespoon, you can estimate with your 1 tablespoon. That's what I'll be doing. So just add that into your mug. It's about half. Add your egg. And make sure to wash your hands after handling your egg. Next, we're going to add in our cinnamon. If you're a fan of cinnamon, you could add in the entire teaspoon. If not, I would say you could add about half. That's what I'm going to do. And then the last thing we're going to add to the mug is a pinch of salt. Okay, and then you can use either a fork or a whisk to mix your ingredients together. And you just want to whisk until combined. That's what it looks like so far. The next step, we're going to take our butter, which is at room temperature, and we're going to spread it over one side of the bread. Next, we're going to cut our bread into bite-sized pieces and add them into the mug. We want to make sure they're completely submerged in the liquid. All right, and here's what it should look like. Okay, so the final step is to put our French toast into the microwave. But first, we're going to have our first trivia question. So grab your pen and paper and get ready to answer. This recipe, as well as many others, require milk. However, nowadays, besides dairy milk, there are a lot of other alternatives that you can use as a replacement for milk. Which of the following is not a common non-dairy milk replacement? Is it A, almond milk, B, cashew milk, C, oat milk, or D, wheat milk? You chose D, wheat milk. You are correct. All of the others, including almond, cashew, and oat milk, are all common non-dairy milk replacements that you can find probably at your local supermarket. Okay, now without further ado, we're going to cook our French toast in the microwave. We're going to heat it on high for 2 minutes, pausing every 30 seconds. And it looks like our French toast is ready. All right, we're just gonna give it a minute to cool before we give it a try. Okay, and we're gonna grab a fresh fork and try our French toast. This is what it looks like before we dig in. That French toast was easy and quick. I feel ready to conquer the day. Mamma mia, time for lunch already? That microwave French toast sure was good, but I'm ready to have some lunch. For lunch, I'm excited to show you how to make a microwave pizza in a mug. For this recipe, you'll need 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon of pizza sauce, 2 tablespoons of shredded whole milk mozzarella, and pepperoni slices. I'm not a fan of pepperoni slices, so I'm going to be leaving them out. Also, if you don't have 1/8 of a teaspoon, which I don't, you can use 1/4 teaspoon to estimate. The first step for making the pizza will be to blend your dry ingredients in the mug. That's your baking soda, your baking powder, garlic powder, oregano, salt, and your flour. So I'm going to measure my dry ingredients and mix them all together now. So we have 1/4 cup of flour. Make sure to level it off. 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to estimate with my 1/4 teaspoon and do about half. 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm just going to estimate with that. That's a little bit tough. There we go. 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. All right, we're just going to combine that. The next step is to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're also going to head over to the sink and add 3 tablespoons of water. Next, we're going to head back to the counter and combine until we have a lumpy batter. Here's what our batter looks like so far. All right, now that our batter's all finished, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of pizza sauce on top of it. I'm just gonna spread the pizza sauce around a little bit. And then our cheese, which is 2 tablespoons, is gonna go on top. All right, now that we have all of our ingredients together, the next step is gonna be to put our pizza in the microwave. But first, we're gonna have our second trivia question. This has happened to me before. I'm already in the middle of cooking and there's no baking soda. Not to fret, you can actually use baking powder as a replacement for baking soda. How much baking powder can you use as a replacement for baking soda? Your choices are A, half the amount, B, twice the amount, C, 3 times the amount, or D, 4 times the amount. If you chose C, 3 times the amount, you are correct. For example, you can use 3 teaspoons of baking powder in place of 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and put our pizza in the microwave. Here's what it looks like before cooking. We're gonna microwave it for 1 minute and 30 seconds on high. Okay, our pizza's all done. Here's what it looks like right out of the microwave, and we're just gonna give it a minute to cool off. All right, now that our pizza's finished cooling, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste. So we're just gonna grab a fork and dig in. That pizza was tasty and quick. I might just have to skip Domino's next time. Thanks for making pizza with me. Hi everybody. After a long day's work, I think I deserve a treat, and luckily this treat won't take too long to make. Tonight I'm going to be showing you how to make a chocolate cake in a mug. The ingredients that you'll need are a 1/4 cup of flour, 5 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of milk, salt, vanilla extract, and in addition to that, you'll also need 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. In addition to your ingredients, you'll also need either a whisk or a fork to mix your ingredients together, as well as measuring cups and measuring spoons to measure your ingredients. We're gonna start off by mixing all of the ingredients together in the mug. So we'll start off with our flour. Five tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, your egg, make sure to always wash your hands after handling your eggs. All right, next up we're gonna add milk. We need 3 tablespoons of that. Three tablespoons of vegetable oil. Oh boy. Lastly, before we mix it together, we're just going to add a dash of vanilla extract and a dash of salt. And we're just going to mix our ingredients together with a whisk or a fork until they're nice and combined. right, now that our cake is all mixed up, I'll just show you what it looks like. And we're gonna heat our cake up for 2 minutes in the microwave or until it's puffed. Okay, and it sounds like our cake is done. So I'm just gonna grab my oven mitts and carefully grab the cake. And it looks like it's all finished. Here's what our finished cake looks like. We're just gonna give it a minute to cool off before we dig in. So while we wait, I'm gonna give you our final trivia question. With everything that's been going on, it's been hard to get eggs lately. Or I have several friends that are vegan and don't eat eggs. So how will you possibly make a cake? It's good to know that there are several things you can use to replace an egg. So which of the following can be used as an egg replacement when baking? Is it A, applesauce, B, mashed banana, C, flax seeds mixed with water, or D, all of the above? If you pick D, all of the above, you're correct. Any of the replacements I listed can substitute an egg in a recipe. Depending on which one you use though, do be aware that it can change the flavor. Okay, so our cake is cooled off, so now it's time to grab a fork and give it a try. Do be careful as it might still be a little bit hot. Wow, that was easy and it's tasty. What a quick treat to reward yourself at the end of the day. I would make this every day of the week. Thank you for coming along with me on my cooking adventure for today. The first thing we're gonna do is go over the trivia questions. If you got no trivia questions right today, better luck next time. Study up a little bit and you'll be a cooking whiz in no time. If you got one question right, congrats, you're a beginner and you're on your way to becoming a great chef. If you got 2 questions right, good for you, you're an intermediate chef and you're almost on your way to stardom. And if you got 3 questions right, congrats, you're a cooking expert. You'll be leading your own cooking class in no time. I hope you enjoyed today's recipes. These recipes have you covered for almost the whole day. We covered breakfast, lunch or dinner, and dessert. Cooking is a really important life skill that you'll use for the rest of your life. These recipes can help you save money and you can use them at home, at work, or at school if you bring your ingredients along with you and you have access to a microwave. Thank you so much for coming along with me and my fellow co-leaders on this Got Skills journey with us. We started off with Blake learning how to change a tire, then we did at-home exercises with Kristen, we had relaxation and stress management with Danielle, money management with Buna, and we finished off by learning some simple microwave meals. These life skills are really important for building self-esteem and self-confidence and will take you really far in your life. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with us and good luck in testing out all of your new life skills.